Up everyone, it is your girl GELBEAUTY87 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another underrated versus overrated situation. So I actually got some lip products this go around. I have the cute lip combo I have on my lips now. I have given y'all this combo in the past and my favorite go-to lip combos video, and you had to buy the two products separately. I found two products together that do the same thing as the lip combo I showed y'all in the past, so I figured I would point that out. So here is the first underrated versus overrated. So I'm not saying again that these products are overrated, it's just more of I can get a similar vibe and from more affordable brands, so I wanted to make sure I showed it to you. So I know, like, when I swatch out the lipsticks and that gonna look the same, but once like both the lip glosses go on top, they look the same in my personal opinion. So that's why I figured I'd show it to you now. So I should probably say what these are. This is Adept Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Nude Cocoa. Now, when you all remember when I first bought this, it was giving very much concealer lips. I'm kind of into concealer lips now, though, depending on like what eye look I have and stuff like that. You know, you want the lip to be toned down, because y'all know I usually do crazy eye looks. This one is, you know, like not that crazy for me, but you know, each his own. So this is Nude Cocoa, and then I'm pretty sure this is Cashew from Tower 28. I love their lip glosses. So oh y'all, I forgot to wipe the swatches off my hand from when I just did the eye look I have on now. It's from a new series that I have going on. I'm sure that series, hopefully that series will have gone before this video goes up, but you know, you'll find out about it later on if it has not. So I'm not gonna say too much about it. It's just another series I came up with, because y'all know I'm always coming out with new and creative things to keep your attention. That is the one thing I'll be trying to pride myself on. Back to this lipstick. So I'm going to swatch Nude Cocoa and put the lip gloss. So this is what Nude Cocoa looks like alone, just in case you didn't see my video on her lip products from a while ago. And her lip line I feel like wasn't that dark either, but like it ended up being a nice combination for me once I got everything together. So I'm going to put this on top. And this is what it looks like with the lip gloss on top of it. See how it looks really similar to what's going on my lips right now? I feel my lips just look like a tad bit lighter, and it's just like a tad. It's not like a whole lot. So now I'm going to swatch these two. So this is the Hershey's Milk Chocolate Lip Kit. They have a cookies and cream one as well. I just tried this one today, and that's when I found out that they were really similar. So I wanted to go ahead and, like, you know, show them to you so that you could get the look for less if you were interested in that lip combo in particular, because they look really similar on the lips. So this is what both of them look like together. See what I'm saying? Like how it's just this tad bit lighter, but it's giving like the same vibe to the lips. And y'all know Tower 28 lip glosses aren't they like close to 20 bucks? And I think Kirsten's lipsticks are like 18 bucks too. So 36 versus how much Glam Lights is, which I think is like under $20. To me, it's quite the steal. So I definitely think you should try out this one. I really like Glam Lights lipsticks as well. Like I know some of y'all told me that like during the sale that y'all bought a whole bunch of lipsticks and just lip products, because I'm like, I feel like they do a really good job with the lip products. So that's why when every collection comes around, I buy the lip products. So this is definitely a more affordable deal than this one would be. But I do like both, and I will continue to wear both. I think I'm actually going to take this one home, because I usually leave all my Glam Light lip products over here to show in video. So this set can go home with me because I have a lookalike now, which I'm so excited about. I need to buy a backup of my Dreamer lipstick from, what do you call it? What is it called? LYS, because that lipstick is fire, and then I have a Mario gloss that goes on top. So I might buy a set just for home because I like it that much, but I'm trying not to be that person, especially since I have so much lipstick at home already. But that lip combo is just so fire. Next, underrated versus overrated, I have this Diypansy lipstick in, it says 12. I don't think it has a number to it. Let me see. I mean the name to it. Let me shit. It's just Cream Velvet 12. And then I have this one in Dreamy from Ensley Cosmetics mystery box. I think it was the Halloween mystery box that came in, don't quote me, but I feel like the colors are quite similar. One is just a more velvety formula than the other one. I hate the applicator to the Givenchy one though. Like y'all, it is so horrible. I'm like, whoever came up with this applicator, you need to be shot. Yeah, I said it, you need to be shot down in the streets. But the colors are quite similar, so I felt like I would show both of them. So just in case she ever makes these permanent, I think she might have, that you can see. But see what I'm saying? Like this one is just a tad bit darker. You notice how it's just off by like a tad bit when it comes to certain things. That's why I go ahead and still show them anyway, because I'm like, it's just a tad bit off, and with some finesse, and it'll probably look the same on the lips. So why spend the $30 whatever it is for the Givenchy when you can use this? And I really just despise this applicator too, which is another reason I wanted to give you an option. Because if you want to try it, it's a nice velvet formula. It's just more of the applicator makes it so horrible to use till it makes me not want to be bothered. So that's another underrated versus overrated of products you can look into. I forgot, the Glam Light one comes with a lip liner on top of it. So you get a lip liner, a lipstick, and lip gloss. And I think it's like $18, which definitely a steal compared to the first lip combo I showed y'all. The battery want to start flashing because I've shot like, I think 3 videos now, and this is number 4. So I need to go get a battery and then we'll get into these eyeshadow palettes. So I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay. Okay, y'all, on to the next set of palettes, or onto the palettes I should say, because I haven't shown any yet. So the first underrated versus overrated is these Kaleidos quads. And I know people are not excited about them just, you know, doing these quads and getting rid of all the fun color that existed in their brand, which, I mean, I'm one of those as well, but I felt like this quad would be a good alternative to this Pat McGrath if you weren't interested in it. Although this one is currently on sale at Sephora with an extra 20% off. I think the sale ends on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. This is Bronze Ecstasy, and this, I forgot the name of this quad because they don't have it on here. I want to say this is the coffee one. I forgot what it's called though. It's coffee something. I'm so sorry, I forgot, but these aren't really my tone, so y'all know it's not a big deal to me. I feel like this one is more neutrally though, and this one leads a little bit more cool, so I guess it depends on what you prefer. I prefer the Pat McGrath one, of course, just because I feel like you get, I like having that extra shade, and I feel like these two ashy shades aren't really doing it for me, whereas the Pat McGrath one, like this can be a transition for me, and this can be an outer V for me. So I prefer the Pat McGrath in this instance, but it's like I know everybody doesn't want to pay, I think these are normally like $36 or something, that everybody might not want to pay that. And I feel like the Kaleidos one is a little bit more affordable. But if you buy Pat McGrath during launch, you do get 10% off. So you at least get the taxes off whatever it is you're paying. And then if you wait for like the 20, 30, 40% off sale she has, depending on how much you spend, then you know. It can be a good deal for you as well. So it just depends on what you prefer. If you like having more of these lighter, neutral, uncool tones, then you would like this one better. And if you like having the tones like I do with the Pat McGrath one, then you would like that one better. So like I said, it all depends on what you like, which one, you know, works for you. But I figured I would show it because, again, Kaleidos does have sales, and everybody doesn't think Pat McGrath is necessarily worth it. So I just wanted to give you all both options. So I did put that away. Trying to put stuff away as I go, so that way, you know, I don't have to put a whole bunch of stuff away at the end. Next, underrated versus overrated we have is the Jungle Lights from Flower Beauty versus the Sixth Seduction from Pat McGrath and Star Wars. If I remember correctly, a lot of people didn't necessarily like the Star Wars collection. So I figured I'd show some alternatives. To me, this is just a miniature version of the Midnight Sun, and it would pair nicely with the Midnight Sun palette. However, if you wanted similar tones, they're not exact, and if you wanted a similar formula, I definitely think that these formulas are similar. So I wanted to show both of them, and this one would be more affordable for you. You can find this at CVS, and y'all know with them care passes, they give you like the $10 off or whatever. So I feel like this would work out better for you if you're on the more affordable side of makeup or don't want to spend a whole lot of money on these types of shadows, because I mean, this is $36 for like a 5-pan shimmer palette, and some of the shades in here are similar. Like you got the light bronzy shades and Mother loves to put in here, and you have a couple of deep shades. Like the green isn't as deep as this one. Matter of fact, I'll swatch a couple of them just so you can see. This green isn't deep as Pat McGrath, but it's still a nice green shadow. These seem like they're more on the metallic side though, and Mother's seem like they're a little bit thicker in consistency as well. So if you so they might crease on you. I don't remember, it's been a while since I used this palette. So every first shade I swatched was Pat McGrath, and then the second shade will be the Flower Beauty palette. So I'm just trying to give swatches to give you an idea of how nice these will look alongside the Pat McGrath ones for people who might be doubting what I'm saying. Like you can see from the swatches and then form your own opinion. We got Pat McGrath again, and then we'll do this one. So Pat McGrath and Flower Beauty, Pat McGrath and Flower Beauty, Pat McGrath and Flower Beauty. As you can see, they both look foily metallic, and some of the Flower Beauty ones look more metallic than the Pat McGrath ones. So that's what I mean by I feel like it'll be a good alternative for you. It's not exact, but I feel like people talk about these for a little bit and then they stop. But Flower Beauty is high for a drugstore thing, so that might be why they didn't necessarily want to talk about it, because it's like when you hear affordable, you want to, like, you know, a more affordable price point, because I think this is like half the price of this one. So I think this is like $15 or $18 at CVS. If I just said this is $36, like that's half the price of this one. But with the Care Pass and like 20 or 30% off coupons that they send you in your email, you can get this for next to nothing versus paying Pat McGrath for this. But the from what I remember, the Star Wars collection did not come to TJ Maxx and Marshall, so it's not like you can get this at those places either. So that's just something to bear in mind. I know some people just wait for Pat McGrath to go to TJ Maxx now, but from what I remember, people said Star Wars collection did not come there, so that's just something to keep in mind. Her what is it, the Midnight Sun palette that I did just talk about, though, it did go there just because she's had it for so long. I remember she had on clearance for so long, and then once the Star Wars collection came out, then she took the price of the other one back up, so it's like you had to buy the Star Wars one at regular price, so that one at regular price, which I thought was kind of shady, but it's like at the same time, like, this is about business, so it's like you have to keep that in mind. Like, she is running a business. She can't just have one on sale and one at full price and just depend on the Star Wars people to buy it just because it's Star Wars. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you from a business standpoint why it made sense for her to do it the way she did. That doesn't make it any less shady, and like I called it out, it was shady. But moving on. Next, underrated versus overrated. I feel like people talked about the Begonia palette for a hot second, and then the Devour palette came out, and we were just all like, ooh, I forgot that the Begonia palette existed. So I feel like they actually look quite similar in my personal opinion. Now, I don't think they'll give the exact same eye look. I feel like they might give similar eye looks. Not exact, though, because none of the colors are exactly the same tones. Like, for example, there's a neutral in here. There are no neutrals in this one. And then the iridescent shimmers in here. There are none in here. So it's like, it just depends on what you like in the palette. But I figured I would show both of them and show side by side how similar they do look. So as you can see, they have a similar color story to them. It's just like, because the Unearthly one is bigger, obviously the Unearthly one is going to give you more variety when it comes to those tones. So you get like a transition green, and then you get like an outer V green, and same thing with the burgundy. You get an outer V burgundy, and then you get like a deeper tone, a mid-toned burgundy to go with it. So it's like you get more shades in the Unearthly and more finishes and stuff like that. But if you're okay with just having a minimum of each side, then you might like the Ace Beaute better. So it all depends. This palette's actually on sale for 50% off right now on her website. The sale ends on New Year's Eve at 11:59. So if you're interested in this palette, you should probably go ahead and pick it up. With this palette, I feel like I was a little disappointed in the formulas personally, but it's not that it was a bad palette. It's just more of, I don't know, I hate that they did these little strips like they Urban Decay. That's really what made me mad about this, because I feel like the formula was probably about the same. I was just irritated about the way we had to try to scrape the product out of these pants. So I'm hoping they don't keep doing this in the future, because that was definitely a letdown for me. But I really liked this palette, and I got a video coming up with it, or it might have already gone up before this goes up. I'm not 100% sure. But I just wanted to remind y'all about the Begonia, because I feel like people were entranced by the Devour palette and forgot all about Begonia. And don't you be forgetting about Begonia, okay, honey? She was out here before Devour was. She was giving I Was Living for the Color Story, and she was the most interesting one out of that collection, if you all remember. So, okay, moving on. So, the next two we have to... Wait, where's the one that goes with this? Where's the palette that goes with this? Hold, please. Oh, that is it. Sorry. So next, underrated versus overrated, we have the Pat McGrath Velvet Liaison. Shout out to my girl Dionluvsmakeup for sending this over to me. She found it at her TJ Maxx, so she went ahead and picked it up for me, because I had told her that was the one I didn't buy at regular price, just because I was like, it's all matte palette. I need some shimmers to like justify and to do a full look, and I didn't want to have to try to do an all matte look. So when she found out her TJ Maxx, she kindly mailed it over to me, and I was like, yes, girl, yes. So this is what they look like side by side. If you're more into warm tones than cool tones, I feel like you would like the Patrick Ta better. If you just like strictly neutrals, I feel like if you like more mauve tones and warm and neutral tones, I feel like you would like the Pat McGrath one. And to me, the Pat McGrath one is good for people who like a lot of matte shadows, because you would like this one, and then you can put your indie single shadows with it if you just want to try out the Pat McGrath, and you can find it at TJ Maxx, so it's more affordable. With the Patrick Ta one, you do get the creams, so if you're into the creams like that, him and Huda Beauty have been doing that. And it just depends on what you prefer. I personally prefer the Pat McGrath one, because y'all know I prefer mauves. So it's like you got the two neutrally shades, you got the two warm tone shades if you're interested, and then you got two mauve tones. So I feel like she did a good job of diversifying what's going on, but I'm hoping that he gives us a cool tone, like, you know, taupes and ashy grays type palette for the next one of these. And a lot of people were hoping that when he teased the 3. We've been thinking it was going to be that, and it wasn't. Kind of disappointed. I know I was. That's why I didn't rush out and get this. Y'all got a review on this super late because I got 15% off on his website. But I just wasn't super excited about this because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. The quality of it is still fine, which is how I got put in this video. But it's like, when it comes to, you know, like it being one that I was excited to rush out and get, it was not. Because I do like mattes, but, you know, like, we know I'm not a neutrals person. So it's like, I wasn't excited because it was just a whole bunch of neutral. And I'm like, Patrick, honey, sweetie, if it's going to be neutral, it needs to be some cool tone neutrals. And that's not what this is. I mean, it's like half cool tone, half warm tone. But I still feel like, you know, he needs to work on like his deeper shades. I guess that's why he just put a black in there this time, as opposed to, you know, doing it the way he normally does. Because I feel like when he normally does, there's not enough depth in there for anybody with any sort of melanin in their skin. And that's always what I grapple with when it comes to like his palettes. I know the cream is supposed to help with that, but it's like the cream only gonna do so much, sweetie. Like, let's be real. The cream is only gonna do so much, okay? Thank you. So next one I have in underrated versus overrated is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. This is volume 2 up against the Rose Metals palette. So my friend let me borrow her Rose Metals palette because I was telling her, I was like, I feel like it could look similar to the Patrick Ta one that I have. So she let me borrow it just to see, and I feel like I heard people talk about this for a quick minute. They were saying the quality was nice, but they didn't really like the color story that much. So I figured I remind y'all about the Patrick Ta and then show y'all this alongside and see which one you all liked and which one you agree with. But I feel like ABH new formula is better. My friend, if you all forgot I told you, she bought me the, what is it, the Fall Romance and the Cosmos palette, because I was telling her that they looked interesting, and for once they were coming up with interesting color stories, but I wasn't buying from the brand at the time. So for Christmas present, she bought me those 2 palettes, and I had bought her some brands that she doesn't normally buy herself. So that's how we ended up swapping, and that's how I ended up with those palettes to put in reels that you all have seen. But back to this. So I really like both the color stories. I will say this one to me is definitely more muted and more on the, you know, like warm tone burgundies and like orange side, kind of like this I got going on right now. And this is more of like my speed right here. This one right here. But I feel like this could be a good alternative for people who want to spend a whole bunch of money and who don't necessarily want the creams that Patrick Ta puts in here. Because sometimes I feel like people don't want to buy it because it's like the creams, and then he was having those issues with the shimmers at the time when people were saying they found mold in their shimmers. I've been blessed not to have mold in any of the shimmers that I have from Patrick Ta, but people have been saying they found it. So it's like, I want to give y'all like an alternative just in case. Now, it's not going to be exact to this because that, like I said, it's more fiery tone. And to me, this is definitely more like a rosy-ish, mauve-ish tone. But the people say that they feel like it pulls really kind of reddish on the eyes as opposed to as mauve, and I can somewhat agree with that, which is why I wanted to compare it to this Rose Metals palette. Now, I have not actually tried this palette. Like I said, I borrowed it from a friend, so I don't know how this necessarily performs and how it actually is, but I figured since the newer quality on the Fall Romance and the Cosmos was nice, and I'm assuming this is supposed to be that same formula because they came up with these new palettes, that I figured I would go ahead and show it so you all could see them side by side. I only got 3 palettes left, y'all, I swear. So let's get into these 3 little palettes real quick and cute like. So next, underrated versus overrated. This is the Passion in Paris from Beaute Cosmetics when that was a thing. And then the Diypansy Jewels and Gem palette. I feel like these look pretty similar in my personal opinion. If you want a more affordable version of this palette, then I feel like you would like more. Because see, they're giving the same vibe. Like if I covered up this bottom row, I feel like it gives a lot of the same vibe. You see what I'm saying? And if you already own this palette, then you don't need gems and jewels, because it's like, just cover up that row. You got that palette right here. And you know, they look the same. And the quality of BH is actually really amazing. This is one of the last palettes they came out with. So I think this might actually still be up on their website if you're interested in getting it, as opposed to the Diypansy one. I think they have similar enough color stories till it makes a difference. I was actually thinking about doing a muted versus colorful video on both of these and seeing like which one works best. I don't know, we'll see. But I feel like these are just really similar in tone, and I wanted to shout them out. Now, I don't remember if I did that before, so that's why I put it toward the bottom at the end, because I was like, I couldn't remember if I did it before. I feel like I did, and I feel like I did that video that I'm talking about, so I have to go in my archive and look. But when you have over like, I think 1,800 videos, child, I don't remember, okay? I'm sorry, I just don't remember. So I might have done it and just honestly don't remember. So I'm gonna put this to the side to remind to check in later to see if I did do it or not. Just 'cause I honestly don't know. I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I don't remember. Sometimes you feel like old person, but like I did so much stuff, so like I forgot what I did. Honey, I forgot. Still putting up stuff as I go, because I'm telling y'all, like, I literally got one more video to film and then I can finally go home. I was supposed to pick up something from my mom a while ago and I didn't get up till like 4 o'clock because, yeah, I was tired, y'all, for real. Next, underrated versus overrated. We have the Adept Cosmetics, the Sea Witch palette. I saw my girl, Dr. Ash, on her makeup with this palette and I was like, ooh, yes, tell me more. I had seen her online, thought it was pretty, but once I saw her like play with it, I was like, it's a wrap, I need it. And then we have the Komodo palette from Clarity Cosmetics. There was a little drama that went on with this and the creator and my girl Dionluvsmakeup. You can go on Instagram and find about that if you're interested, or you can check the comment section of my video of using this and the Anaconda palette, because they had 2 palettes come out for holiday. If you want to know the tea on that, we ain't gonna get into it here. Moving on, we just gonna show this palette. So my shade did come broken, so I have to hold this a certain way because this shade came broken. But this is what they look like side by side. I feel like they definitely give a similar color story. I feel like this one gives a more fun vibe to it than this one though, in my personal opinion. Like, to me, this is just a little bit more colorful. The quality on this is absolutely amazing. The quality on this is nice, but I feel like the quality on this one is definitely better. And I don't know if you can still get this one or not. I know she teased the new palette on Instagram recently and I had the eyeball emoji like, hold up, what is this? I need the tea. What's going on here? I need to know. But this palette is absolutely stunning. It's amazing. The performance here is great. The shimmers in here is great. Everything about this I was truly impressed with. And if you all saw my favorites of 2023, you saw it in there. Because, honey, it was giving I was living. But I feel like this would be a good alternative for this one. Because this is limited edition and it has already sold out. I just wanted you all to see the comparison. Because I forgot to put this palette in there with this one when it came to my comparisons that you all saw on my YouTube shorts the next day after I did put this video up. So I wanted to make sure that it was seen now and you knew what was going on. But that's how those look. And I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talk about Adept Cosmetics, so that's another reason I wanted to put it out there and let it be seen. Because honey, y'all saw that palette. Like, oops, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I have to grab my sleeve and do my stuff as I go, because I'm telling y'all, I gotta get up out of here with the quickness as soon as these are done. So that's why I keep leaning over and doing stuff as I go in the video. Sorry. I normally try not to, but you know, that girl. Anyway, last one I have to talk about, underrated versus overrated. I have the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette against the Clarity Cosmetics Anaconda palette. So I'll show these side by side. I think I did put this in there. And to me, this is just a more muted version of this palette. If you see what I'm talking about, none of the shades in here, but something. This is a muted version of this palette, or a combination of both the palettes, because I feel like this has some of the tones in it that are in the Komodo one I just showed, and it has some of the tones that are in this palette. So I feel like this would be a good like battle combining both the palettes together, but I'm just going to compare it to the Anaconda one because they're both around the same size. And as you can see, the color stories are very, very similar in my personal opinion. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when I put these side by side and see what kind of eye looks we get out. Because for Huda Beauty, this is really colorful. To me, this is muted compared to this palette. So I'm interested to see how they can perform side by side and how the shimmers are going to look side by side. Because I feel like the ones in Anaconda are more metallic and this one is more muted. I don't know if they're getting rid of this palette or not. I heard it's not on Sephora anymore. So I wanted you to have alternative. The only thing is this is limited edition as well, but this is still up on their website when I'm filming this. God only knows if it'll be up by the time I get done filming it. I don't think this is supposed to be permanent, so it probably won't, but we'll see. But I want you to see them side by side to see the difference. And you know, if you're interested in supporting the black owned brand, the Anaconda palette is from a black owned brand, Clarity Cosmetics, and this from Huda Beauty usually goes on sale pretty often though, so I wanted you to just have options. If you like a more colorful palette, I feel like you'd like this one. If you like a more like muted mainstream colorful palette, then I feel like you would like the Huda Beauty one more. So those are all the things I want to talk to you about today in this underrated versus overrated video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.